Leon Jennings here from Asian Persuasion MMA. I'm here with Sasha Palatnikov, who makes his UFC debut this weekend at UFC 255. Now, Sasha, you moved to Las Vegas, I think about a year ago, with the intention of signing for the UFC. A year later, you've got your debut. How excited are you?
Oh, super excited, man. Nothing better than when a plan comes out and works in the end. This was a goal that I've been striving for the past 10 years when I, fully committed to the sport. And, moving out to Las Vegas was probably the best decision I made in my career. And thankfully, this year has been a roller coaster ride of ups and downs, but it all started to kind of come together second half of the year, getting the opportunity to go and compete in Dubai, and then not long after that, signing with Ruby, and here we are now signed with the UFC and making that debut on Saturday.
How easy is it to just jump sticks and move to Vegas to make that sort of big change, visa-wise, gyms-wise, and everything else?
Well, fortunately for me, I have American citizenship, so I'm all good on that department. But it's always difficult to just get up and move and take everything. But if there's one thing about me in my life, I've lived all over the place, and living out of a suitcase has never been a problem for me. And being back in the States was always kind of in my mind, and it's a place that I like to be, especially because the UFC is here, and it all just came together. My former coach, Neil Melanson, who I used to train with at the Black Zillions, he's based here in Las Vegas, and we've been communicating for years, and he's been trying to get me out here and thought it was a good, opportunity for me to be out here. So, when he invited me and said I could come and stay, and he would help me get situated, it was just a blessing, and it all just worked out perfectly. And like I said, here we are.
Tell us about the phone call. Getting that phone call saying you're going to be making your debut in the promotion.
Well, it was funny. I was actually teaching a class at the time, and I put my phone away, and my coach, he came to the gym and was like, he looked at me as if maybe someone had passed in my family or something. He had this look on his face, and I'm like, "What's up, John? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Have you looked at your phone?" And I'm like, "Nah, like I'm teaching right now. I haven't." He's like, "Go look at your phone right now." So I went and looked at my phone, and actually I got a text message from my manager, just asking me if I wanted to fight on the 21st of November in the UFC, and I didn't have to think twice. I said yes, and then later on we had that phone call, and I didn't even care who the opponent was. I just wanted to sign that contract and just get myself there, because I knew that I'd have to be fighting regardless. It doesn't matter who they put in front of me, and thankfully, we're here again.
And for your Hong Kong roots, you'll be the first fighter in UFC history to represent Hong Kong. How special is that?
Oh, it's amazing. It's one of the best feelings. Like I said, it's a goal that I've been striving for some time. Winning my first world title as a Hong Kong representative was also, a big tick on that box, and to take a title. And I think that's probably what also made me more of an attractive signing for the UFC, as I've been able to compete in 6 different countries around the world in 7 professional fights. This stuff's what I love to do. I don't have any discomfort in traveling and being out of my comfort zone. So this opportunity is almost like a home field advantage. And I'm just super excited to just put everything on display for the people and the fans that will be watching.
For those who don't know a lot about you, tell us a little bit about your backstory, how you got here.
Well, I was born and raised in Hong Kong. My father was a former world champion high diver. He traveled around the world performing. I guess we're both performers in our own right. And he, he's a tough guy. He put me in martial arts at a young age because I was just full of energy and a bit of a brat. And back in those days in Hong Kong, it wasn't, let's just say it wasn't a PC environment. It was a hard, tough environment where if you weren't in line, you'd get smacked. And, you learn from an early age to have discipline and keep, just keep in line. And throughout that, I was super into my martial arts, but also I was a big rugby player and big rugby fan. And, I was like in 2 different worlds in a way. When I was at primary school, all my friends played team sports, but I was the kid that did martial arts. And I was kind of like, FOMO, fear of missing out with all my friends. And, I finally transitioned into rugby a couple of years later, and that became kind of my obsession. I wanted to become a professional rugby player. I represented Hong Kong all through the age groups, from under 12s all the way until senior level, Hong Kong A, played sevens. You know, I did everything for Hong Kong, and finally was able to sign a contract and play professionally in Krasnoyarsk, Siberia, in Russia. You know, it was a short career that ended with an injury. I had dislocated my elbow, and then we had to kind of reevaluate my situation and say, hey, you can't play sport forever. Maybe education is something that we should, you know, go down that role, go down that, and you know, ended up in university in Canada and the U.S. and, you know, from there transitioned from rugby to American football, and, you know, pursued the NFL route. You know, I had a big boot on me. It was trying to become a punter in the NFL, and that didn't work out, and it kind of just guided me back into martial arts. I was a very frustrated individual at that moment. I put in so much work, and unfortunately, you know, it wasn't meant to be. So I joined an MMA gym at 19 years old, and that's when, you know, jiu-jitsu came into my life. And, you know, it's, you know, long story short, I haven't turned back. 19 years old, and, you know, it's just been consistently just training, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to learning new things, and I just like to, you know, indulge in everything and just try to improve myself. So, you know, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, everything that was new to me was something that I was obsessed with. And not long after that, I was competing at the amateur level and helping professionals get ready for fights, and people telling me that I could do this. So, you know, I built my confidence that way. And once I got got my first ever amateur fight in Buffalo, New York, I knocked the guy out in 36 seconds. And I just had this feeling inside of me that this was what I was supposed to do. I enjoyed performing. I enjoyed doing it in front of people. And, you know, it was just something that came very natural to me. I don't have any emotions when I fight. I'm very calm in there. And it's been like that every single fight. And same thing's going to happen in the UFC. I don't believe in nerves. I just believe that if you have a goal in your mind and you set it, and it's been pre-played in that mind over and over again, it's just going to come to fruition. And, you know, I've had ups and downs in my life, in my career, but I just know that everything has kind of just come into place right now, full circle, and just the opportunity to, you know, go out there and represent Hong Kong, and hopefully, you know, entertain everybody. And I just hope that they love what I've been working on, because I have a unique style. I have a style that I think that a lot of people will enjoy. I'm not a wrestler. I don't like holding on to people and lying on top of them. I'm a striker. I like putting people out. And if I can continue to do what I've been doing, I think I can have a big career in the UFC, and who knows what else will come with that.
As you've seen before, rugby and American football seem to be good sports outside of combat sports to lead into MMA. Is it extra special to be making your UFC debut on a pay-per-view card?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you told me you'd be fighting on a fight night or, you know, a smaller card, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. But the fact that I'm making my debut on a big pay-per-view card with 2 title fights, it's awesome. You know, I couldn't complain. You know, again, to me, it's just a fight. I don't look at it as I'm the first fight, which has been, I've never had that opportunity to be the first fight of the night. So that's kind of cool too. So I can kind of, you know, get in there and then also enjoy the rest of the card, hopefully. And like I said, I'm just fully focused on this fight. I'm fully focused on this opponent, even though it was only 2.5 weeks notice. I fought guys on 5 days notice. It's, you know, as long as I'm constantly training and I'm healthy, there's no excuses for me. And, you know, I'm fighting a tough guy. So, you know, undefeated, and, you know, he's got power. So, you know, these are all things I got to take into consideration. And, you know, we're fighting the UFC. There's no easy fight. I don't believe I've had an easy fight in my career. So, you know, every single fight I fought world champions in my second pro fight, you know, so this is just another fight, you know, and I'm just super excited to, if it is 255, if it's a fight night, if it's Contender Series or Ultimate Fighter, all this stuff, it doesn't matter. Fight's a fight. We're in the cage. They lock that door. We get the result, and that's all that matters.
And you're on quarantine at the moment, are you? Is it 48-hour quarantine? Is it you in the bubble already?
Because I'm a Vegas local, I just went and did my COVID test this afternoon. So I just went straight from there to the hotel back to my apartment. This is my apartment that I'm in currently. So I'm just by myself right now, I guess, quarantining. They're going to message me in the morning to know my results. I should be fine. And then tomorrow I've got a little bit of some obligations with the UFC in the morning. I got to take care of some stuff, but otherwise, yeah, all good. Hoping my opponent also passes his tests. That's what I'm most concerned about. I actually already had COVID, so I don't believe I can get it again. So fingers crossed, everything is good. I'm feeling amazing. My body, my mind, my weight, everything is on point. The UFC PI has just been taking care of me since I've signed with them. My nutrition, my supplements, everything is on point. And this is all, like I said, coming full circle. So I'm very excited for this opportunity.
I was going to ask you about that. How you're taking advantage of the PI being on your doorstep as well?
Absolutely. That was huge. I mean, it's a big saver in the bank account. You know, not having to pay for food or supplements, and you know, just the ability to go there and train and use the trainers and the physiotherapists if needed. And thankfully, I haven't had to really pursue it. But just the diagnostics. Excuse me, that's the washer. The diagnostics and you know, everything that they provide is just next level. It's the top of the line. And I'm a science guy. I like numbers. I like to see. And they told me I can put on a little bit more mass, a little bit more muscle after this fight. So this excites me too. And you know, there's all kinds of things that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you're working with these guys at the PI. They have literally the highest technology that you can get in sports science. These people are from the Olympic. They've been brought in from the U.S. Olympic Training Center, and you know, this is what they went to school for. This is what they studied. So I love to, you know, I love to talk to these people, and I love to just pick their brain, because I'm always trying to learn and grow and just get better as an athlete and as a person. I mean, you can learn new things, and you can pass it on to people as well. I have younger fighters in Hong Kong who are asking me questions all the time. So if I can pass that information on to them and give them some sort of advantage, that's awesome, you know?
Brilliant. What are your thoughts on your opponent, Louis Cosce? He came through the Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lewis and Orion, they came through together. You know, both tough guys. They're both out of California. You know, you can see it on his record. He's got a lot of finishes, early finishes. I don't think he's been out of the first round often. You know, I've watched a few of his fights. Shorter guy, you know, stocky, kind of got that wrestler build. But you know, every fight I feel like is going to be a tough fight in the UFC. There's no easy fight. So, you know, I just got to make sure that I'm doing everything that is planned and prepared. I know he's going to bring the heat. He's already been telling people that, you know, he's going to try to break me and try to finish me. So, you know, I'm ready. I'm going to be waiting for it. Let's see what he's got. And hopefully he can keep up with what I have. So should be a really fun fight. I think it's going to be perfect to just kick off the UFC 255 card with this fight. I think it's going to be a banger. I'm not going to shy away. I'm going to fight my game, and if people respect the art of martial arts, they're going to see something that I feel like they don't always see. Yeah, it should be good. It'll be good fun.
Were you familiar with him before the Contender Series? He's had one fight, obviously, where we are in Asia, in the Philippines. Were you very familiar with him before that?
No, actually, one of my training partners that I train with here in Las Vegas, he was supposed to fight him a year ago, but that fight fell through. But to be honest with you, I don't know too much about him. Like I said, he's fought majority of his fights in California, you know, against people out of California. So, you know, like I said, in my opinion, he's a tough guy. I feel like everyone that gets to the UFC is going to be tough. If you're not going to be there. So, you know, again, I look at his record. You know, like I said, he's got a lot of finishes, and but a lot of the time you see these guys that come into the UFC, they have all these finishes, but then when they get to that level, you know, they got to go a little bit longer. These guys, like myself, I've never been finished by strikes. I've been stopped by referee stoppages 2 times in my career, which in my opinion were early stoppages. I've never been knocked out. I've never been hurt in a fight. So he's got to really bring something that I've never seen before, have some kind of ridiculous power that I've never felt before for me to stop. So he's going to have to put me to sleep for this fight to end. And if it doesn't, it's just going to be a war, and it's going to be a tactical war. I play chess when a lot of people play checkers. So it's something that I feel is really going to play out, and we'll see what level he's really at.
We can't wait. We look forward to it. Good luck, and hopefully speak to you afterwards.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cheers.